Hey everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a thrifted DIY for you. I found this beautiful little cabinet while thrifting at Goodwill. At first I almost left it there and I saw another lady pick it up and I instantly regretted it. Thankfully she put it back down because I went right over and I snatched that right up. I used my embossing gun to remove these embellishments and I'm going to set them aside for later. Who knows, I might use them. I'm starting off by painting the inside of this little cabinet using my absolute favorite black chalk paint. Believe it or not, I get this at the Dollar General, and in my humble opinion, it's the best. It goes on super smooth, gives beautiful coverage, and it doesn't break the bank, which is always a win. If you follow Kristen K, this is her absolute favorite as well. Whenever I'm painting, it reminds me a lot of how I feel when I'm practicing Reiki. There's something about being fully present in the moment, which we don't often do because, a lot of us are into our phones and, we kind of dissociate at that point. But I feel like I am doing everything with intention, whether I'm sending energy or brushing on paint. I know I've said it before, but crafting is therapy for me, and creating is a kind of meditation. When I'm creating, my mind slows down, I tune in, and suddenly I'm not just painting furniture, I'm pouring peace into it, and it grounds me. I don't ever want to be the type of creator that creates only for my viewers. It's got to be for me, because if I don't do it for myself, then I won't love what I'm doing anymore and it won't be therapeutic. Let me know in the comments, what is therapeutic for you? What grounds you? What brings you peace? I'd love to hear from you. Okay, next I'm going to use these rub-on transfers I got from Temu. They were super affordable, and honestly, I've been really impressed with how well they apply. I take a minute and play around with the placement before I commit, and then once I'm happy, I start burnishing it with my fingers to get it going, and then I use this little burnishing stick I got from IOD Designs. You'll know when it's ready when the image starts looking more transparent on the backing sheet. That's your sign that it's time to peel, and don't rush it. Just go slow and peel as you go, because you can place it right back down and rub it again and then lift it up. I can't describe what I'm doing here, but it's called the wave method. This is how I've learned to remove my backing sheet. You know what this reminds me of? Those sticker books we had as kids, or those dry transfers you used to scratch onto your notebooks. It's kind of funny how crafting brings that little spark of childhood back. Let me know in the comments if you've tried these Temu transfers, or if you're an 80s kid like me, or if you know what penny candy is. My sister and I used to walk to a store a few miles away from our house every day during the summer for penny candy and a soda. The last time I drove through my hometown, that building wasn't there, and practically everything looked completely different, and I haven't been able to go back since. Sometimes you just can't go back, right? I cast this beautiful cameo using black resin. It's got such pretty detail, and I'm painting it using the same black chalk paint I used earlier. While that's drying, I picked out a small paint inlay that I'm going to use right on the front of my cameo. I gave the side the paint's on a light mist of water, and then I just laid it facing up. The instructions say make sure you have a good coat of paint on there. You don't want to put a thin layer. Just make sure you put enough on there so that way it will activate the paint in your inlay. Now that I've got my coat of paint on and the inlays had a few seconds to activate, I'm going to place it paint side down with the grid side facing up. I'm going to gently press it in, and I'll take a damp rag and just blot it. Don't rub it, just blot it. Once that's done, I'm going to set it off to the side to dry and let it do its thing. I needed some extra bling bling, so I went in my stash. I found these transfers that I got at Goodwill in a $10 grab bag. Honestly, I didn't have high hopes for them. They looked kind of old and random, but they totally surprised me. They transferred beautifully. Next, I am going to use this latch I found at Hobby Lobby. It comes in two pieces, and I'm just using little screws that came with it to attach it. It's the perfect touch for this little cabinet. A little detail like this can really pull something together and make it feel finished. And I think this does just that. Now I'm just going to go over with my palm sander to lightly distress the sides. I just want a little bit of that worn vintage look to peek through, nothing too heavy. It brings out all the character in a piece and gives it that age charm that you know I love. You can skip this step if you want. You could dry brush on some paint to distress it, maybe go over it with some white or, a cream color. You can distress using any color you'd like, but if you don't want to sand it, that's another alternative to distressing your piece. Now I'm staining these corner embellishments I got from Temu using a mix of burnt umber and water. This is a homemade stain that I use. I use this a lot and I just keep it in a jar on my table and it's right handy when I need it. Next, I'm going to give my cameo a light spritz of water to reactivate the paint inlay. I'm going to let it sit for about 30 seconds or so it has time to release, and I'm also going to blot it with my wet towel. And my favorite part, peeling slowly back to reveal that gorgeous flower design underneath. It is beautiful. It's always so satisfying to watch the image come through like magic. Once that's dry, I'm going to use a combination of Tight Bond Quick and Thick and hot glue to attach my resin cameo to the front of my cabinet door. I like using both so I get that quick hold from the hot glue, but the long-lasting strength from the wood glue. Once I know that that's not going anywhere, I'm going to start gluing my corner embellishments into place, one on each corner to frame everything in nicely. You know that saying, careful what you wish for? So one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch all the time, Linda's DIY by Design, her cats are always in her videos, and she explained recently how she has a window right in front of her table, and so they'll sit there and they'll look out the window and watch the birds. That's why they're always in her footage. And I told my husband, oh, I'd love it if Monty would come and sit with me while I craft. Well, my desk isn't big enough. I don't have a window for her to look out, so she's right here in my space. Hopefully for not too much longer, though. I'm hoping to transform my attic into a studio, but we'll see. It's also the attic that's filled full of treasures, so it's a whole project, guys. That's it for this lovely little cabinet. I'm honestly so happy with how it turned out. It has such a magical storybook feel, like the kind of piece that makes your mind wander a bit. It would make a perfect gift for any age, really. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button, Leave a comment for me. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, subscribe so we can keep crafting and creating together. Until next time, guys. Bye.